moments in life are the ones you make. Les Brown. Today I want to have a real conversation. Not about where you've been, not even about where you are right now, but about the ceiling you've been living under. Some of you have been bumping your head against that ceiling for years, thinking it was the sky. The ceiling is made of something invisible but powerful. Your limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are the quiet lies you've agreed to believe. They're not facts. They're not even destiny. They're the false ceilings that convince you to settle for less than you were created to have. These beliefs whisper, you're not ready, you don't have enough, you've already failed too much. And because the voice sounds familiar, you assume it must be true. But I'm here to tell you, familiarity doesn't make something true. Just because you've believed it for years doesn't mean it's your reality. Your limiting beliefs are built brick by brick through experiences, disappointments, and the opinions of others. But here's the good news. Anything built can be torn down. Some of your beliefs come from failure. People who loved you but passed down their fears. They didn't mean harm, but they gave you a vision of their life limited by their own experience. Some of your beliefs come from failure. You tried, you lost, and you told yourself, I guess I'm not meant for this. But failure was never meant to be final. It was meant to be feedback. Some came from comparison. You measured your beginning against someone else's middle or their highlight reel, forgetting that your race has its own lane, its own timing, its own finish line. And some came from cultural narratives, stories about what people like you can or cannot do. Narratives shaped by history, but not destined to dictate your future. The first step to crushing your limiting beliefs is to expose them. You can't fight what you won't face. Name the belief. Say it out loud. In fact, write it down. When you name it, you take away its ability to hide in the shadows of your mind. You drag it into the light where truth can dismantle it. The second step is to challenge it. Ask yourself, who told me this? Where's the evidence? Does this align with the truth of who I am and who I'm becoming? Most of the time, you'll find the belief has no real proof. It's built on assumption, fear, or outdated information. The third step is to replace it. You can't just reject a limiting belief. You must replace it with an empowering truth. Nature abhors a vacuum. So does your mind. If your belief says I'm not smart enough, replace it with I am resourceful. I can learn and I can figure things out. If it says I don't have enough money to start, replace it with I can start small, grow steadily, and attract the resources I need. If it says people like me don't succeed, replace it with my story is proof that people like me can rewrite the rules. You can't live in agreement with your old limitations and expect a new life. Agreement is powerful. So choose to agree with possibility, not with fear. Your beliefs are the lenses through which you see life. Change the lens and the whole picture. Some of you are one belief away from doubling your income. One belief away from starting the business. One belief away from forgiving yourself and starting again. But you've been waiting for someone else to give you permission. Let me be clear. You are the permission. You are the evidence that a different outcome is possible. You are the example your family, your community, and your future self have been waiting for. Every time you choose to act in alignment with your potential instead of your past, you crush a limiting belief. Every time you step out, even when you feel fear, you crush a limiting belief. Every time you refuse to repeat the old story, you crush a limiting belief. And the more you crush, the lighter you get. The higher you rise, the freer you feel. Don't underestimate how deeply these beliefs are rooted. They've been reinforced for years, but roots can be pulled up, no matter how deep. You pull them up by refusing to water them with their words, with your habits, or with your focus. Instead, you plant seeds of truth, courage, and vision, and you water those daily. Crushing your limiting beliefs isn't just about you. Your breakthrough becomes a blueprint for someone else's freedom. When they see you doing what they thought was impossible, it forces them to question the lives they've been living under. You become living proof, and that's powerful. This is why you can't afford to keep playing small. Playing small keeps you safe from risk, but it also keeps you safe from growth. The truth is, you will always have beliefs. The question is, will they be the kind that build you or the kind that break you? Choose beliefs that stretch you, beliefs that scare you a little because they're so much bigger than where you are right now. Choose beliefs that demand you show up differently, that pull you out of excuses and into execution. And remember, belief without action is just wishful thinking. You must act as if your new belief is already true. That means speaking differently, moving differently, surrounding yourself with people who support the new version of you. It means building habits that align with your vision, not with your limitation. It means giving yourself grace when you slip, because change is a process, not an event. And it means celebrating every small win, because each win reinforces your new identity. You were never meant to live in a cage built from lies. You were meant to break through, to rise up, to lead. So today, make the decision, not just to dream bigger, but to believe bigger. Because when you crush your limiting beliefs, you crush every obstacle standing between you and the life God intended for you. You've heard the truth. You've seen the patterns, and you've recognized the false feelings that have been holding you down. Now it's time to stop simply knowing and start moving. You don't need another year of circling the same mountain. You don't need another season of making peace with the lies that have been robbing you of your future. This is your line in the sand. So from this moment forward, identify the lie. Call out every limiting belief trying to disguise itself as truth. Replace it with power. Speak and act in alignment with who you're becoming, not who you used to be. And move without hesitation. Take bold, consistent action as if your new belief is already reality. Do this. You won't just crush your limiting beliefs. You'll crush every obstacle standing between you and the life you were created to live.